told, our reporter tells us that this is happening because the sewage system, the networks are not complete in the Gurugram area, in the Faridabad area, I'm sorry. What does the Huda have to say to this? You are openly polluting a water body that supplies water to Delhi and surrounding areas.
See, this primarily is not about water being supplied to Delhi, because once the Yamuna reaches Faridabad, it is no longer supplying water to Delhi, number one. Number two, in any case, pollution into Yamuna is not something which the government of Haryana would like to do. It has come to our notice, and since the call came over to me, I've already spoken to the DC of Faridabad, and I have told them very clearly that something like this, which is being done, has to be inquired into, number one. Number two, the people, the colonies from where the sewage is coming, they have to have their sewage treatment plants. Otherwise, how has the CC been given to them? They must inquire into it, and we would be looking into all of this, and whosoever is the person to be looked into, they would be looked at and pulled up.
Right. In fact, stay with us. We also have Varun Shivkant, like I told you, who's an environmentalist. Varun Shivkant, does it really matter where the water is going? The fact is, sewage water is openly being dumped into an irrigation canal. Now, if the water body is being affected in one place, will the pollutants spread through the river body? Varun Shivkant, can you hear me? Well, Raman Malik, you're telling us, coming back to you, you're telling us that you've already spoken to people. We appreciate the fact that you seized of this problem. How soon can we expect some action over here? Because obviously, you have to take action at various levels. One, you have to stop the dumping. Second, you have to treat the water which is already polluted. And of course, you have to build that sewer network.
You see, something which has to be accepted is that the kind of awareness that should have been there over a period of time has not come in. The successive governments which were here have never bothered about creation of STPs, have never bothered about treatment of the sewage being disposed of and the systems. This government today, we have already started sanctioning micro plants and other things which are required in various locations. So the point is very clear that we are aware of the imminent danger that this can cause. But then, yes, there are certain restrictions that we have. We cannot have, we in a day cannot change the entire system. We are changing the systems. It is taking time. But yes, we are very clear that we are aware of.
Like Raman Malik, can you at least ensure that the dumping of sewage stops immediately? That is something that you can do.
Till such time that the sewage treatment plant of these colonies, from where these are being dumped, one, we have to identify where all these people are dumping from. Then the sewage treatment plants which are required to be there have to be seen whether they have been built or not, and if they have not been built, the Commissioner, MCF and STP and the DC office will have to make sure that these places have their STP plants, as well as the same time the STP plant which needs to be there has to be looked in, and what is the process and what is the time frame in which it has been designed or which has been put in the place, that what is the schedule. I'll have to look into all of these things before I can comment anything. But yes, one thing is very clear, that this is something which we have taken note of.
But Raman Malik, doesn't the Huda have its own sewage treatment plants? Can't you immediately order that the sewage being dumped by these housing societies be diverted to the STPs run by the Huda?
Understand with the positioning. These positions where these, sewage treatment plant, as per what I've understood, is that these are coming from the new sectors which is coming across from the Yamuna Canal, which is between Yamuna Canal and the FNG Expressway. So that is a new area, that is a new Faridabad which is being developed. I am not aware of whether the sewage treatment plant there has yet been made or not, because of the simple fact that there is a minimum criterion of population density. And those things have to be looked into what is the correct situation before I comment. But yes, at the same time, if these are done from the private colonies which have developed there, which are licensed private colonies.
Raman Malik, I understand there are issues. But can you give us a timeline? Can you tell us when will you stop dumping sewage into the Delhi-Agra Canal? Ideally, that should have been done starting today. But when can you do it?
In those private colonies, what are the license terms? Because those licenses on which those colonies have been developed, they were not given in our time. But then at the same time, every colony of, let's say, multi-storied or housing plotted colony needs to have STP.
Right. I said, Raman Malik, I'm sorry, I'm running out of time. I'm running out of time on the show, but you're unable to give me any sort of assurance over here. This is a big story, news break that we're getting you right now on Mirror Now. The fact that a number of housing societies in the Faridabad area do not have access to sewage networks. They are dumping their sewage openly in the Delhi-Agra Canal, in water that is being used for irrigation. The sewage water being dumped untreated into a water body that is being used for irrigation. This is happening in Faridabad, and we are being told that as of now the government is figuring out what it can do about this. They cannot stop this dumping immediately. With